Welcome back to the best FPS, where I show you that the indie game community rocks. Get it? Because he threw a rock, and then also the music is, you know what, never mind. Today, we're taking a look at Metal Hellsinger, developed by The Outsiders and published by Funcom. Now, The Outsiders is a studio that was founded by some former Battlefield and Payday 2 developers who were initially working on a project called Darkborn. That project never actually came to fruition as they halted development back in 2020. The reason why? I have no clue. But they instead decided to start working on Metal Hellsinger, which was honestly a pretty good idea in my mind. So Metal Hellsinger is a unique brand of FPS as it's also a rhythm game. The only other time I've seen this is with this game called BPM Bullets Per Minute. That game is a dungeon crawling roguelike FPS just like the others I've shown in this series, but ultimately I was uninterested. I'm sure that game is fine, I just really didn't care for it at the time, but now that I've played this game, I may go back and play it. In Metal Hellsinger, everything is supposed to be done to the beat of the music playing in each level. The tempo will change based on the song, so you'll really have to feel that groove if you want to be effective throughout the entire game. Now when I said everything, I really did mean everything: shooting, reloading, dodging, even switching weapons. It's crazy because even the character's footsteps are on beat. The beat timing is indicated right next to the crosshair in a Dance Dance Revolution style of matching the arrow to the right timing. Now let me specify by saying you can still do all of those previous actions off of beat, they're just not as effective as doing it on the actual beat. You're going to need to try to match your actions with the correct timing as best as you can because, as I said before, they give you more benefits. Now there are two types of on-rhythm actions, good and perfect. Good will give you a moderate damage increase, and that's pretty much it. Perfect actions give you the maximum damage possible, allow you to chain your dashes, and can give you higher score bonuses. Score is the biggest element in Metal Hellsinger as this game has a global leaderboard. Combos are what's going to give you the highest amount of points, and getting your multiplier up to the max is key. The multiplier goes from a ×1 to a maximum of ×16, and get this, as your multiplier goes up, the music adapts and gives you more pieces to hear, with the ×16 giving you the vocals. Now if you're a cool person, the first thing you thought of was Devil May Cry, because the same type of system has been placed there too. And it's really effective, really pushing you to do your best so you can hear that full song in its complete glory. But I will talk about the music later. There are also power-ups that will boost your combo meter. One will give you the next tier up so that if you're at ×2, you go to ×4, and so on and so forth. And the other gives you the straight ×16 instantly. Both are useful if you're in a difficult fight or if you're just not able to find that rhythm. Getting headshot kills, keeping your skull multiplier at ×16, taking less damage, completing the level quickly, and a few other factors will affect your overall score. You're going to want to utilize everything in your arsenal to excel past everyone else and shoot for the highest score possible. The basic story of Metal Hellsinger is that you're a demon, referred to as the Unknown as no one knows where the hell you came from. All you know is that the devil, referred to as the Red Judge in this game, has stolen your voice and you want it back, enacting an old prophecy of the coming of a Hellsinger. And all I have to say about that is that being called the Red Judge is hard as fuck. Now as you battle your way through Hell, there are a total of 6 weapons that you'll acquire over your entire playthrough. As is the trend with many games, you start with a melee weapon called the Terminus. As you progress through the different levels of Hell, you'll find a weapon that's also your companion, a country accented skull named Pax. Pax is extremely useful as he's the only weapon you can use in between encounters to keep your fury meter up. Then you have Persephone, a shotgun, the Hounds, which are dual revolvers, the Soulbreaker, which is a crossbow that does AoE damage, and finally the Hellcrows, which are 2 boomerang type weapons. You'll always start your levels off with the Terminus and the Pax, and you're also allowed to take 2 more weapons of your choice. My typical loadout was always the Soulbreaker and the Hounds. A huge plus in this game is that the weapons feel really good to use. They're powerful and blend in perfectly with the music constantly banging in your ears. All these weapons come with ultimates which are triggered by alt firing, and I have to say that they are extremely effective. Pax calls down a beam of light that stuns enemies, making them very easy to clean up with a different weapon. The Terminus gives you a specific riff with an increased tempo so that you can hack and slash through an entire horde of demons, and I have to say it's actually kind of hard to find the exact timing to hit every single swing consecutively perfectly, but I'm just bad. The Persephone shoots a tight spread of piercing projectiles that can hit multiple enemies and has a pretty decent range as well. The Hounds, which in my opinion is the best weapon in the game, lets you spawn a clone of yourself that shoots at anything in its line of sight. The Soulbreaker shoots a gravity well that locks enemies in place, which is good for setting up combos. The Hellcrows create a giant blade tornado that does a crazy amount of damage, but the bad part about it is that you have to actually use the damn things. The Hellcrows don't feel right, as the pattern of firing them off to the beat is kind of a hard hump to get over. Another feature of combat is the Brutalize, which is basically a glory kill from Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal. And that of course has to be done on tempo. Brutalizing an enemy can be done when they get to a low enough health, and then hitting E, which triggers an animation that will kill the enemy and give you health back. Really straightforward stuff to make the combat smooth and keep it flowing. At the end of each level, you'll fight a boss, and for some reason they all look like the Avenged Sevenfold logo. The combat is really simple, just keep shooting them in the face while avoiding bullet hell like projectiles. A tip to make these even easier is just use the Hound's ultimate and double up your damage, just makes them all a cakewalk. In between levels, there are challenges you can complete for buffs called booms. They all come in 3 tiers, which can be acquired through doing the more difficult version of the challenge that gives it. The benefits are mostly involved in combos and keeping them, but there are a few that directly involve combat. You can have up to 2 boons equipped at a time, and the 2 that I use were that you gain more fury faster, and your ultimate charge increases 1% per beat. Being able to spam your highest damage is really nice for clearing out runes quickly. Now the music in this game fucking slaps. I like metal a lot, I listen to it casually, listen to it when I work out, been a fan of the genre for years. So it really is nice to see a return to form for metal in a video game, since the last time I can remember it being in the forefront was with Doom Eternal. But we all know what happened with the music in that game. God! Fuck you, Bethesda, put the Doom Eternal OST on Spotify. It's been over 2 years. Don't expect me to go super in depth about how the songs arpeggiate or some shit, because I just listened to it, I don't know anything about it. The music in Metal Hellsinger is composed by Two Feathers. Two Feathers is a composer duo from Sweden who's made music for games like League of Legends, Vermintide 2, Ravenbound, and Angry Birds 2. They collaborate with a lot of previously standing metal vocalists for each level. They get their own track where they get to showcase their vocals and really bring a lot of energy into the game. Big fan of letting them all showcase themselves individually rather than some people being overshadowed by another. My favorite song of the OST is Burial at Night, featuring Tatiana Shmayluck. From the group Ginger. I've heard of Ginger before, and I've said this before in conversations, but I really feel like female vocalists are better in metal music. The other track I want to talk about is actually from the last level of the game, which I'll end up spoiling a bit, so if you don't want to hear about it, skip to the roundup here. The last level features a song with Serj Tankian from System of a Down, and I'm just saying, this is a perfect ending track. The meaning in his words, along with the beauty of the track itself, really rounds off the travel through your levels of hell. Just take a listen.
Finally, Hellsinger. This is the end of what was.
A huge area with you fighting the devil for something that they took from you is just the bow on top of the hellish present. The game in total took me about 3 to 4 hours to get through while also doing most of the available challenges. I never died or had to restart, so that may be why. You can pick up the game on Steam for $30 or on Xbox Game Pass for $10. Metal Hellsinger is a great blend of genres, taking shooting demons and putting some rhythm behind it with some headbanging metal.